Good morning. It's Laura from Craft and See with Laura B. How are you all this fine morning? Sorry about the glare. And you will ask, what is this mess? What is this mess on my desk? Oh my gosh. Well, today, for many, is Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's Day, or Valentine's Day Massacre, depending on who you are and where your bent is. Anyway, I don't do Valentine's Day. Ever. I don't like it. I have no use for it. It is a made-up holiday. And I'll just shut my mouth there, so we will start out the day in a good mood. Anyway, so, yes, I have a hate on for Valentine's Day. I bought a couple of kits last year from My Porch Prints. And they are loaded St. Patrick's Day tags. So, let me stand up real quick. Make sure we're all in frame. And we're focused. Okay, so here is just the sheets. As you can see, I printed them out. I fussy cut them. I actually, excuse me, and while I move this out of the way, I actually used some of my Distress Oxides, of which I used Rustic Wilderness and Forest Moss, and then on a couple of them, some of them I used Speckled Egg. That's the bluest, that's the only blue I have in Distress Oxide to where I could do this with it. Anyway, and as anyone knows, the original Irish was sky blue, azure blue, that's how you say that. Anyway, and not green. Green came later. I actually, my little trivia buff had to look that up. I heard that, I think last year or so. But anyway, excuse my sniffs. It is early in the morning. And I hope that didn't come across too loud. Too loudly. Anyway, so, hang on one moment. Hi, Isabeau. Are you doggy food doggy? Hang on, I gotta feed my dog. Are you doggy food doggy? You want an eggie in your breakfast? Do you want an egg in your breakfast? Hang on, gotta feed my dog. What is this? What is that? Is that an eggie? Did you get an egg? There you go. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to feed my dog breakfast. She got up late this morning. It is 8 a.m. Excuse me, 8:12. Woohoo. So, anyway, here we are all. Here's everything backed. Some I used book page. Some I did not. So what we are going to do is we're gonna make these today. We're gonna have a little bit of a play. We're gonna be the anti-Valentine's Day Valentine. Excuse me. Pardon me. So let me separate these out. Yes, look. It's raining. So how are you all today? For those of you who don't have, don't object to Valentine's Day as a romantic holiday, what are you doing today? Do you have hot plans with your significant others? Or, let me make sure that I'm in frame. Real quick. My dog is not going to eat. She's not going to doggy food doggy. I use the doggy food doggy term. My son has a dog, and that's what he refers to his dog Bo as doggy food doggy. And I just thought it was cute. So let me look and make sure we're still in frame and focused, because it does not like to focus. My camera, I've noticed. Okay. So now that I know, there. Okay. So, again with the sniffs, I apologize. Ugh. It's allergies. Everyone, I have a dog and I have allergies, and I think it's this house. Honestly, the owners before we bought it, I think had anywhere between 1 to 3 big dogs, and they moved out quickly and did not do much in the way of cleaning. And God knows what was cleaned before them. This is an old house. It actually was, the property was part of a family-owned ranch back in the day. And what they did is they had 2 cabins on this property, and they shoddily built them together. And nothing is flush, plumb, straight, square, even, what have you. And as someone who is very OCD about everything being even, I find it myself hard-pressed on a good day to deal with it. So, I backed these tags onto this paper, and off the top of my head, I could not tell you where I got this paper. I should have looked that up. I didn't even think about it till just now. And I'm not going to make gussets for this because I just don't want to take the time. Now I could like do this and do, but it's all going to get covered up. You will see. I'm trying to make sure I'm in frame because boy howdy, I tell you all the things you have to remember. So today is Tuesday, and I don't have certain days to do certain things. I'm just trying to film. Ever. I mean, I don't even have a... I'm trying to film. I don't have a schedule. I'm just trying to get used to doing this, not saying things I shouldn't say. Anyone who knows me knows just how difficult that is for me on a good day. And I sure hope I'm in frame sitting here. Let me kind of... I feel like I had to put the camera up enough that I can't... I'm short. I can't see over it. You know, I'm 5'2" on a tall day, as I call it. And today I'm not feeling particularly tall. Now, I could have inked this in vintage photo or what have you, but I don't know, I wanted to go green, and this was the greenest Irish green, barring the blue that I talked about, because, only blue I have is speckled egg. Which I guess if you want to call it sky blue, it could be considered sky blue. So, back to Valentine's Day plans. You'll have to tell me what you have, if you have plans, what you plan on doing. I just plan on filming. Just filming. And thinking of new things. I was watching Mitzi at 307 Junk Journals this morning before I wanted to get started on this. I have a online meeting at 10 a.m. and I wanted to get this started before then. Excuse me one moment. I'm going to blow my nose. And I'm back. Didn't take long. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Getting a text come through. For those of you that don't know, I am, my main job, if you want to call it that, is a living caregiver. Hang on just one moment, I gotta take this. Okay, I'm back again. So anyway, I'm a living caregiver for a special needs gentleman. It's more on call. I mean, he's pretty self-sufficient, but I do like to, for the most part, try to answer him right away. He's not been feeling very well lately and has a cough. So, as I was trying to film a video yesterday and ended up trashing it, and I have to thank Mitzi. I started this conversation by talking about Mitzi at 307 Junk Journals. What I like is she's one of those people that isn't all, yes, I've done this perfectly, blah, blah, blah. Nothing to see here, everything's good. And where she's, if she has an issue, she'll say, oh yeah, I'm having an issue with this. And it's nice because, hot flash. I recorded this not whole video, but I started this video and was trucking along fairly decently with it. And then lost this little bitty piece to the butterfly that I wanted. Did I absolutely have to have it? No. Did I really, really want it? Would it be very useful? Yes. And I will show you what I lost. What little piece. It's on the next pocket that I was trying to make. That's the video I was doing. But it's this little middle piece to this butterfly. This tri-butterfly. Right there. And this is the one that got lost on my desk somewhere. Could it have gotten mixed up in what I thought was trash and went into my recycle/burn barrel? Entirely possible. Not even gonna lie. Anyway. Arg. Very, very upset about that. So I had to stop the video. I called it on, and I even said that I'm calling this on account of rain because I lost what I needed. And you know how it is. It's one tiny little piece. You don't want to have to print out an entire nether sheet and waste all of that. You know, because it's not like, I mean, it's a waste. You don't want to print out the whole thing for one little piece, and then you'll have all these extras. Minus that one little teeny piece that you really want. So, I don't know. Not very happy about that. It is what it is. What are you going to do, right? Cry about it? No. Well, it depends on what the mistake is, whether I'll cry about it or not. And can I get this quickly on here before the art glitter glue decides to... And there he is again. Okay, there we go. I try to match people's ringtones with their personality or what they like, so other than the just standard iPhone, whatever it is. So I know who you are and whether I'm going to ignore you or not. Ha ha ha. We all do it. And I really don't hold anybody. You know, I don't hold that against anybody. Anyway, so St. Patrick's Day, as I was saying in my other video, is kind of like the holiday of my people. And I use that term, darn it. I use it loosely, my people. I'm not a green beer drinker because I don't care for beer. It's an acquired taste. I used to have it, and I quickly lost it with an ex of mine who, that was his drink of choice, and boy did he like his drink of choice. And so I don't drink this very much anymore. My system just doesn't tolerate it anymore. It's like it has decided that it just doesn't like it. My stomach doesn't like it. I have apparently a small hiatal hernia, and so when any hard liquor hits that, boy, it is not happy, and I will spend hours in agony, rolling around, clutching my gut. It hurts that badly. Boy, I'm just getting a lot of notifications all of a sudden. Okay. Boy, this is awkward. I feel like I'm on the struggle bus, and you're all here to watch me on the struggle bus. Any other YouTube creators out there need me to save you a seat on the struggle bus? I surely will. We'll sit in the back, because that's where the cool kids always sat when I went to school. Alright, so there we have those four. I need to see what Joe needed. Okay, hold on one moment. Alright, and I'm back again. Had I known I was going to have as many interruptions, not that I begrudge interruptions, not even saying that. So I do need to ink around some of these. However, I'm going to get my gold. Where did I put it? Where'd be my gold? Oh, for crying in a bucket. Don't you hate it when you have something and you put it someplace special on your really messy desk and then you can't find it ever again? Because wherever you put it was not where you thought you put it? Oh, for crying in a bucket. That was the song I was singing yesterday. Da, 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 right there in front of my face the entire time. Right here. Okay. So, for craft a lunch. Craft a lunch. Alright, here we are. So, I did not... Whoever knows these things, the little foam that comes in here, how do you clean that? How do you wash it? Does anybody know? I mean, seriously, anyone? I guess I should have done that one first. See, and here you get me on the should have done already. Should have done. And so what I'm going to do on this is take some... Oh, crying out loud. There. Trying very hard not to cut. So I heard some new... I don't know how new it is, but regulations regarding bad language on YouTube. I don't know how I did that. I must have glued that on there. And how YouTube, something about only cuss words in a certain time frame, regardless of how you have your settings. You can't cuss within the first few minutes. I don't know. I have to pay attention to this because I am a pot. See, darn it, Laura. I am a potty mouth. I should be ashamed. I should try to change it, and I do. I mean, it's not like I sit here and am not conscious of what I say. I tend to self-bleep. There. A little bit of gold. Gold. I'm just going to quickly do around all of these, so I'm just done. So I'm done. Anyway, if anybody knows how to get this off of that sponge that it comes with, which is really nice, so it's not all over your fingers until it gets all with this gold, and I love it so much more than that dreaded R&B. Candace? It turns out, apparently I had a wonky tube of that other one, R&B, and I, for reasons I will keep to myself, that's what I have to call it. Oops, so that wasn't on there very straight. Anyway, it was very liquidy. It was like water. Oily water. It just ran everywhere. I had to shake it up. You could hear it shaking in the little tiny tube. Anyway, according to Candace at Journal Me Crazy by Candace Johnson, that's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be almost like paste. Well, I didn't know that. So I could have sent the tube back and said, here's, you know, a wonky tube, and I didn't know that I could, so I didn't. And hang on, I know I've got gunk all over me. I have more rags around here. I personally don't buy baby wipes. I don't like the way they pill, is one reason. And the other reason, and you know, I'm not telling anybody what they can and cannot do. Check to see if I'm still recording. Yes, I am. And we are at 21 minutes. Almost 22. It's a personal preference. I have plenty of washcloths that I've had for a long time that get grossed up and stained. I'd rather use those than baby wipes, mainly because of, started with the baby formula shortage here in the U.S., where I just found that I couldn't, in good conscience, use something babies need when I can use old washcloths and the like. Again, personal preference. Not trying to shame anybody. You do you. You do you, boo, and I'll do me. But not only is it apparently more sustainable, I guess, if you take into consideration the cost of water and soap and all that stuff, and smarter people than me can math all that stuff out, because I don't math. I am not very good at math, never have been. I am definitely not, darn it, a mental giant when it comes to that at all. Trying to remember to talk. So I've asked everybody how they're doing on this semi-fine St. Patrick's Day. And I get that Valentine's Day used to, maybe when you were a kid, everybody got a Valentine's Day, right? Everybody, when you're growing up here. Ooh, crud. Shucky darns. Let me just make this even. I just have to laugh now, because otherwise I'm going to get mad. Because it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be perfect because it's a junk journal. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. After I finish this, we forgot to talk to Mr. 8 this morning and see what he had to say. I figure it this way. A lot of people that I watch have misters of some sort. Maybe they really help them with their videos. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're just there for moral support, but everybody has a mister. I know some people have good misters. Some people don't have good misters. I know somebody's mister that brought her a latte the other day. Now, I don't have a mister again. It's not something that I ever feel that I need. However, having a mister bring me a latte sounds really good. But not if they're not the right mister. Am I right, ladies and gents? Alright, so there. Let me see. There it is. I got these cute little spray bottles, complete with little carabiners, off the Amazon. And I'll have to look up, try to remember to put the link in so you can see them. I showed them to Mitzi. They're really cute. They spray really well so far, even this one with coffee in it. You can get the nice little splatters that you want sometimes. Hey, for those of you who have iPhones, is there a ringtone you would like me to set for you? For those of you who have iPhones and that we talk regularly? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Hang on. Here we go. Sorry that I'm... There. Alright. So, now I've got this. I've got that. Trying not to take for frickin' ever doing this, but... Okay. And this one I'm going to, as Miss Paint-A-Lot, Fiona over on Miss Paint-A-Lot's group taught me, because I didn't know this trick. If you don't want the inking necessarily on the front, like you just want it on the very edge, do it from the back. So you get some of the color, but you don't get it all the way up on here. There you go. So you can do it on the back. Now, I know one of the things that I was thinking about doing with this is, and I actually could do it, where I heat emboss this entire thing. That might look really cool. What do y'all think? We'll heat emboss some, and then on others like this one, we'll just do it real quick because I'm thinking about it. Got my glossy accents. And I tell you, these things are not easy to keep this nozzle. I don't know how well you can see. Keeping this where it's not all wonkified. There you go. Because I have bit it, I have, you name it, needles, anything to go in there to try to be able to squeeze it out. But no, once again. So I have this hat pin, which is dirty and filthy and gross. And then I just, even though before I close this up, I make sure there's nothing in there, it still does not always. And all I'm going to do is go around this. There. Give it just a hint of texture. And now let me see if I can do his eyes. A little 3D. There we go. And maybe all these little buttons. I hope this is in frame. There we go. Just a little glossy accents on there. Try to make sure that you clean that up. And this will probably be a several part video. So I have this really weird routine that I do to most of my glues and everything, especially the ones that like to clog the tip, where I take it and I blow into it. Well, I'll do that to try to get it, force it all down. Sometimes on the Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1, I have to unscrew it a little bit. It's probably nobody else does that, and that's my backwards wonky way of, oops, of fixing things. But hey, it is what it is, and that's what I do. So I'm going to set this aside and hopefully remember that it's there and not knock it over. So I'm going to get some of these out of the way. And since I will use a piece of scrap paper once I can find it. You know, am I the only paper crafter out there that sorry, lost my train of thought looking for something, that can ever find a piece of paper that you can write on, or so just anything to write on, or a scrap piece of paper that you aren't using for something else. I have the hardest time with all this paper I have finding something to write on. So I have these Tim Holtz Distress pens, 2 in a pack. One's a brush and one's a bullet, and I really like the brush. I use the most often because, oh duh, it covers more area. So the issue I found is getting the entire thing, depending on how big it is, with enough of this stuff on. I suppose I could use the stamp. I do have his like the ink pad, the embossing, whatever this is called, ink, I think. And it is not easy to see. And you gotta kind of be Speedy Gonzales about it. You might have to go over it a few times after you've embossed it. So, once you get the powder on, you've got some time. Alright, so this is Wow Clear Gloss Super Fine Embossing Powder. Now, type of stuff. She had the big flake ones and said it was better for her breathing issues and the like, if you have asthma or other lung issues. So, what is that? That is a gnat. I'm sorry, but I had a gnat in my embossing powder. Oh my god. Alright, so we're going to move this out of the way. I'm going to open this again so I don't... I've had more issues with getting embossing powder everywhere. Because it gets everywhere. Not even joking. Now, once you put the powder on it, you have a little bit of time. Excuse me one moment. And back. So, I've got my heat gun tool, whatever you want to call it, right here at the ready. You're going to hear some noise. You may want to turn the volume down. Now, it is hard to see sometimes. And I'm just going to Try not to get it, the heat gun to blow it across the table. So you're not chasing around, which I have the problem, and I hope you can't see my big unruly head. Okay, we'll let that cool for a little bit. It doesn't have to cool for a very long time, but you don't want to touch it right away because I've put my fingerprints in it more times than I want to admit. So, let it cool for just the where you can handle it. Doesn't take a whole long time. And I don't know how well you can see this. There you go. But it looks pitted to me. So I go back over it at least twice. Or go over it. I don't know if you'd say back over it or however you'd say this. Tweezers come in very handy. The whole little, try and hold the little suckers still. Excuse my sniffs. Try not to be gross about it. This is one of those mornings where I am just going to be sniffy. And it's one thing when you're doing a video and people really can't see you proper. But, like I said, I have a meeting at 10 and it's on Zoom. So, alright, where'd my piece of paper go? Usually I should have done it on there, so it would be there. And I wouldn't have to worry about it. Come on now. Straighten up and fly right. There we go. Now I will be blowing this from the underside to try to get this paper to curl the other way. Curl the other way. Please. Curl the other way. Back into the... Alright. And I try to get that out of the way because even though you think you got all this powder back into the thing, it is everywhere. It's worse than sand. I sure hope I'm recording. Yep. Alright, here we go once again. So, with this, I'm going to blow underneath to try to get the paper to straighten out. Which it kind of does. There we go. Get back. There we go. Come on. Turn it off. Sorry, I had a little bit of issue turning it off. Now, I think... Nope, this side needs to be... I did not get this side very well. Come on. I'm trying to pick that up off the floor. Alright, so if you can see, I don't know how well this shows, but if you can see right there, it doesn't look like it did very well. There we go. And you can heat these and kind of move it around a little bit, which comes in handy if your tweezers or whatever have you leaves a little groove, which it happens. It does happen. You know, it happens. Here you go. And I'm just going to try to bend that out a little bit. Once it cools down more, I can flatten it. There we go. All right. So, do I want it this way, or this way, or that? Alright, and I gotta clean off this because I can feel all that powder, that fine, fine powder. There it is. I'm telling you, I absolutely heart these so much, and I'm going to get more. Do a quick cleanup. Oh, this is probably going to be a multi-part because it's taken me for free and ever to do this. Even though I pretty much had a good handle on being, you know, done. So I am going to put it like this. Oh, for crying in a bucket. Here we go again with the nose. I'm going to end up calling this, again, not on count of rain, per se. Ha ha. Oh, that was just... Probably should have paused to do that. I apologize. Alright. Do I want it this way? I do kind of want that, I think. And sometimes what I do when I want to make sure I get the glue where I want it and not... And you do... Then you're going to have a little bit of a pencil line. But for me, it helps me know where I want to put the glue. There it is. I used to use Reptile. No, Reptile was the first one. Barely Arts. That's it. Barely Arts. Until I got a good deal on this, or what I thought was a good deal. You get this 2 ounce, and you get an 11 ounce with it, and all that for like $19. Which was very, very close to Barely Arts, which I like better than Reptile. Reptile was the first one I started, just because, you know, I didn't know any better. You start this paper crafting thing, and you use what the people you're watching use, because you don't know any better. But, and so this is how I do things. There. And press down, press down, press down. Hopefully it'll stick. Press down. I kind of like that. Except for right there. Except for where I got it too close to the edge. Pin in my glue before I forget, because I always do. Always. Trying to make sure I get the sticky out without doing that. Oh, for crying in a bucket. I'm telling you. What do you guys do? Mitzi, Candace, Tommy, anyone else who does a video, what do you do to keep these from Kyung? There's one I haven't mentioned yet. Kyung Shotwell. There. There we go. Try to make sure we crap on a crap cracker. Crap on a crap cracker. There. Let me use a card. Dadgummit. Try and get that one little bit to stay down. Here we go. Just like that. Yeah. Alright. So, so now it's just a matter of what do I want to put in here. Look at all of this stuff we can do. I mean, you've got plenty for, you know, enough for 4 pockets if you choose. And I kind of like this and her. And how about this? Alright. So we're just going to have time to do one. And this one I'm going to do differently. If you heard that, I apologize. That was my stomach. Which it shouldn't be growling this early in the morning. Because normally I don't eat until late. So what we're going to do is, I don't want the brush one. Put my pen back in my glue. Alright, as I'm talking myself through the steps, or attempting to. So this time, we're going to use gold. We're going to use the bullet. Because this time, we're going to go around the outside of this. Going back to kindergarten, or preschool, or... You know, I seem to remember growing up, and, you know, not that I remember much from preschool. Or kindergarten, for that matter. But you would think, it seems like they're changing. It's like, no longer is it just learning shapes and colors in preschool. In kindergarten, you're actually learning to read and write. And I just don't remember that. You know, it's been a hot second since my son was in school, and I'm sorry, but I can't remember everything about what his school was like and what he learned in what grade. I do know that he spent the first up to grade, all the way through grade 3 in Texas, where they did not have recess, by the way. Come back. And then I moved up here, and, well, he never liked to do his homework. He took after me in that. And you get what you were and worse, right? Anyway, when he moved up here, he'd get held inside for recess because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. And I kind of chuckled, you know, after getting called to the principal's office again, you know, the school. He's not doing his homework. You know, I was one of those ones that got that. Has frequently late or missing assignments. And the whole, you know, talks to her neighbors too much. Bothers her neighbors. Spencer got the same thing. And it always kind of cracked me up, irritated me in Texas. They're like, well, we want to get mad at him, Spencer, but he's just so cute. Yeah, so anyway, I'll shout over this. So he would not do his homework, and then he would get held inside for recess. And finally I clued one of his teachers in and said, you know, that does nothing, because he's so used to being in Texas, West Texas, where they don't have recess. Which I never understood that, why you wouldn't have recess. And I will go over that a little bit more once I'm done here. Alright. Put that back. Whew. Warm, 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 warm. Bullet. Get my bullet. Where's that? Yep, that's my bullet. I think I almost got it. There we go. Yes, I hum a lot, people. I'm always humming something. Alright, here we go. Powder back in as much as I can get it. And then let's just finish this. There we go. Ooh, dang, that was close. Did you see that? I almost. Did y'all hold your breath collectively there for a hot second? Waiting for me to biff it? Because you never know. So here is a map of, there's Dublin, Galway, Portlaoise, Athlone, Tullamore, Longford. If anyone out there is watching from this area of the world, please school me on my... How about Rose? Rose from Journals in Time. Mullinger, Ardee, Longford. I think that's Castlebar. I don't know. Kilkenny. Huh. Anyway, sorry. Isn't that nice, though? Let me wipe off my thing again. There. Alright, where are we at? Oh, good night. We're 52 minutes into it, and I'm still futzing around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to call this on account of rain, but I do have more going on this morning than I had anticipated. So I am going to sign off, take care of that, and then when I come back, I will have a little bit more of these done, as far as, you know, stuffing parts and all of that good stuff, so that you won't have to sit here and watch me do it all. Yeah, because that would be boring real fast. So anyway, I will sign off. Peace out, which is my normal. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. Hit that like button. Thumbs up. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dog's best friend. I'm sure your dog's best friend would like something to watch. Just mindless nattering on might make them feel like they're less alone. Anyway, alright. Well, I'm going to say sayonara for right now. I will be back later today. Got to prepare for my appointment and get some of the stuff done. So, I'm telling you, trying to keep your train of thought, trying to keep everything together, walk yourself. Yes, it's not for the faint of heart, nor is it easy, but it is fun. And you meet such stellar people. Anyway, again, peace out. Bye.